there has to be passion. I think the company has to be behind it. It helps if someone's a good writer or at least a decent writer. Don't do a book just to say you did a book. That's that probably goes without saying. Don't do a book because you want to get famous, because a writer of a business book, unless your name is Mark Zuckerberg, is never going to get famous. Our book sold 70,000 copies, but still outside of customer success, nobody knows my name except my family. And I don't think anyone in my family has read the book either. So, and I think the other thing I'd say is don't write a book in the hope that it might be helpful. Write a book as part of a plan to make a dent in whatever it is you're trying to make a dent in. So again, I don't know if you ever heard this stat. I probably shared it with you, Ethan. I find this fascinating. But if you look at every single book title on Amazon, the average number of books sold per title is, last time I checked, 17. That includes every book that J.K. Rowling has ever written, by the way, and every book Thomas Clancy has ever written.
That is a long tail of ones and twos.
Talk about long tail. In other words, the vast majority of people write a book for one person, for themselves, because they can then say that they wrote a book, and then 2 aunts and 1 sister buys their book, right? Because that long tail is a bunch of 2s, 3s, and 4s, right? To draw down J.K. Rowling down to 17 per title says there's a whole bunch of books that sold 3 or 4 copies. Anyway, so it's quite a process to write a book, as you know. At times pretty painful. I felt like I was back in college writing term papers at different times. And that's a bad thing, because you want to keep the passion throughout the book. It can't sound like you tried to make a chapter 3 pages longer just to fill the pages. That's not a good thing. So I think you have to somehow bring some passion to it and be focused on it. It's really good to, if you're going to write a book, to make sure there is community input, interview people. Sometimes you have to do research. We didn't have to do a ton of research because customer success was so new, but we did talk to people and got great ideas from a number of people and quoted from some of those interviews. That helps a lot, gives credibility, gives more content, and gives different perspectives. So again, we don't put the word Gainsight anywhere in the book. I think it might be in there in the introduction to the authors,
in the legal section,
something like that.
Yeah.
But it's nowhere else in there, right? And that was really important to us, because we were never doing it to try to push our product or our company. We're trying to do it to make the category bigger.